right, so this is a good one. What technique did you guys think was nuts, but it actually worked? Without giving away your secret.
I don't know. First one that comes to my mind was when I first started fishing jigging wraps in open water. Right, I got sucked in that the jigging wraps or the horizontal gliding jigging baits that we all fished under the ice forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watch a guy win $80,000, of which a lot of it was mine in a tournament, right? And you're like, wait a second, I better look at this a little bit harder, right? And it taught me a valuable lesson that we can't pigeonhole any technique, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's drop shotting, which is a bass fishing technique, or throwing suspending jerk baits that, again, most people look at as a bass fishing technique, but I've caught hundreds and hundreds of walleyes on both of those techniques. So I would say no matter what the technique, no matter how crazy you think it is, if it imitates a bait fish, then any game fish will eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to put walleye right in that category. So yeah, there's lots of crazy things I've seen catch them. And I'm sure Jason has some great guide stories. He loves to tell those guide stories about the craziest way to catch a walleye. I'm sure he could keep us busy all night.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I grew up, you look back like in the 80s, for example, at least, out here is, a lot of back trolling, and drift socks. The trolling motors weren't as good then. And it was all, a lot of it was using live bait rigs where you had a Lindy rig, you had the bail open, finger on the line, and be just crawling across structure really slow. And then, and then you obviously using bottom bouncers, but it was a lot of live bait type stuff. And then we didn't have line counters, we didn't have braided line or anything like that. So we did a lot of trolling with cranks, but it was let out the lure until it hit the bottom. It was pounding the bottom too hard, you reeled it up, and we didn't have the contour maps and things like that. And, we didn't know what we didn't know at the time. But I remember for myself, like using jigs and minnows in the spring, whether it was on a river, on a lake or whatever. And then when some of the soft plastics kind of came into the scene and the gulp and stuff like that, and I thought, well, why would a walleye ever hit that when minnows taste better, they smell better, and obviously if you have that in your head, you'll find examples to prove it, because there's times where live bait works better than an artificial or soft plastic, what have you, but I remember, just getting over that hurdle, say it was, probably 25 years ago now, but I remember that was a one that I probably pushed back and resisted for a long time, probably way too long. I just thought you had to have live bait, and even, I remember as a guide one time running out of leeches and putting gulp on a plain snell behind a bottom bouncer and catching fish like that, thinking, oh my, what has the world come to? That wasn't supposed to happen, but then when you're guiding, you see all kinds of stuff. I learned to keep my mouth shut. Don't have, when somebody pulls something out of their tackle, I always catch them out, in Canada on this thing. Well, we're not in Canada. Keep your mouth shut, because they're going to put it on. They're going to catch fish if you say anything. And what a great learning experience. I can't tell you how many things that I learned from people that didn't listen, that, did something completely off the wall that I would have never done in my boat, almost against my will, like they were resisting me or whatever. And well, talk about a great lesson, so yeah, there's always something to learn with fishing.